Welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to another Spider-Man PS4 Live video, and today I have very interesting and unrevealing news, extremely revealing news, in regards to, once again, the release date for Spider-Man PS4. Now, I know a lot of you have a lot of vocal opinions about the release date. I see quite a few of true believers and spectacular Spidey fans in the comments now, totally full-on going and saying this game is going to be released in mid or early to mid 2018 at the earliest. And, they've kind of, I don't want to say lost faith, but they just go back in that mindset, and just without PSX showing anything, they still go and say, well, this game is super far out, we're going to have to wait a long, long time until Insomniac Games even shows us any more actual gameplay footage of the game, not even just for the release date, but for the game itself. And to that I say, no. To that I say, there's absolutely, positively, not in a million frickin' years that this game will release in 2018. If it does, I will eat my own words, I promise you. I will make an entire video stating I am apologizing and just totally begging for all your forgiveness, me totally advocating for a 2017 release, specifically near spring, because of the Spring Street theory. But, once again, I don't see any way in hell that they would release this game in 2018, seeing that they released it at E3 2016, showing that they've been now officially working on the game for over 2 years. It's their biggest gaming company development team ever for any of their games that they've worked on, and now they just work on it for Spider-Man PS4, and also the fact that it's an exclusive also saves tons of development time as well for the game. And again, they're way far ahead of schedule with their gaming progress of the development, because once again, the first ever trailer that we saw for Spider-Man PS4 was a gameplay trailer. That wasn't CGI, because usually with these big superhero budget games we see CGI trailers. The new unveiled Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy game was CGI, and the Batman, all the Arkham games were CGI. This wasn't. This is a very different pattern that we see here, which is why this leak, or this, rumor that's going on, is highly plausible for a 2017 release, and it makes a lot of logical sense. However, it is not the Spring Street theory that me, the Spidey Bugle, and a few other true believers / Spidey Squad members do believe in. But this is still reassuring that it also confirms, if this turns out to be true, this is just a rumor / a leak with no official credibility whatsoever. But if it is true, I'm happy, because it confirms it's 2017, and it's not that far away from my speculated release date theory, which is May 30th, 2017, which is, the end of spring. Which again, for my opinion, which I think, if Spring Street theory is a reality, May 30th seems the most highly likely, because of how that would be the final month of spring, which means that they would have enough ample time to make the game, and it would be spread far apart from Spider-Man Homecoming to not be having people get confused. So, oh, this is a movie tie-in game, so I'll just get that for my kid, and no. Or other people just think it's a movie tie-in game or anything. But regardless, this is what happened. So, on December 10th, a YouTube user by the name of Silent Night Game Night, whose video I will put in the link in the description, so you can go watch it for yourselves. And legit, MHX already watched an amazing video on that. Go check it out, please. He does an amazing job in that video. I also put the link in the description for his video as well. And he goes on to analyze this source, and I will do my best to analyze this source as well. So, again, Silent Night Game Night just uploaded a video on December 10th discussing about a Sony insiding source, an inside source who works at Sony, who knows a lot of things from the developers of certain creators who are making games for Sony or work with Sony. So, for example, like Sony Santa Monica is a Sony subsidiary studio, which means that they are owned by Sony. They are a Sony-only studio, which means all of their games that they put out are also only on PlayStation. Same thing with Naughty Dog. All their games have only been on PlayStation. And Sucker Punch as well. And now for Insomniac. Insomniac is, again, they are a studio that works hand-in-hand with Sony, but they are not owned by Sony because of how they made Sunset Overdrive for the Xbox One. But a big majority of their games are Sony games. They're exclusive Sony games. Ratchet & Clank, Resistance was on both consoles, I believe, but it was a PlayStation exclusive. And Spyro 2 was a really old game, but I still believe it was a Sony-owned product. And now, of course, we have Spider-Man, a heavily owned Sony product. So, This man with his inside Sony source, he says his source knows a lot of things from developers, and he got a news tidbit, a news info from Insomniac Games and Sony and what their plan is to release Spider-Man PS4 and how they're going to release it. So, again, this is all rumors, all just leaked info. We don't know if this is 100% true or not. This is all just a rumor for now. But if it's true, it does make sense. So, he goes on to saying that Sony's plan is to release Spider-Man PS4 alongside of Spider-Man Homecoming. Whether that is 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after the movie is released is still unknown, but that is their plan. They are planning to release the game 2 weeks before or after Spider-Man Homecoming comes out. Now, if you don't know, Spider-Man Homecoming is released on July 7th, 2017, which is a Friday, and I took it upon myself to find the at least 2 week separation before and after that date on Tuesdays, because again, yes, games do come out on separate days. They can't come out on Fridays or even on the weekends, but a big majority of games do release on Tuesdays. So, specific Tuesday dates I found that are before and after Spider-Man Homecoming that rely 2 weeks past or after and stuff like that, June 13th or July 25th. And his source, his credibility for his source, he says it's credible because of how his source reported on the Horizon Zero Dawn delay 3 months before it was announced. So the delay of Horizon Zero Dawn was announced before E3 2016, saying that, oh, this isn't going to be a 2016 game after all. This is actually going to come out in February of 2017, which isn't that far off, but it's still not in 2016. So that is what the source has found so far. That is his credibility that we have of him. He got one thing right, so that is all that we have for his credibility. Now, there are tons of Sony leaks, but I will go on to trust this source because of how this makes sense. And there are also 3 other reasons why this is possible. On which date? I think July 25th, because it would be after the movie, and it would give Insomniac Games even more ample time to fully make the game the best game possible, to give them more time to have it span away from Homecoming, so people don't get it confused that it's a movie tie-in game, which is my first reason. And also, my second reason is that it gives them ample time to further make the game, because July 25th would be enough of a span from the movie and be enough time for them to continue making the game the greatest it can possibly be. And my third and final reason is that no Spider-Man game has ever been released in July. From my awareness, all the other games have been in spring, fall, near May because of all the movies, April, but July has never been seen for a Spider-Man game. Movies, yes, but not the Spider-Man games. So these are all my analysis points for it. Let me know what all your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I'll put the links in the description for these 2 other amazing videos. Please go check them out. Please, please, please. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.